Welcome to Coffee with Carrie, and I appreciate you stopping by. We're going to talk about first date conversations. It's been a while, but you guys keep asking, what do I talk about on a first date? That's where I get hung up. I don't want it to seem like I'm interviewing the person, and that is a great way to approach it. We certainly don't want it to be a Q&A or an interrogation. The worst feedback I ever get for dates that I plan as a matchmaker when both people reach back out to me and tell me that the date did not go well and the conversation really didn't flow. One or both of them will tell me that it felt like an interview, and that's definitely not what we're aiming for. So if you're wondering what to say or what not to say, a couple ideas on what to say, I'll remind you here that I just created an entire guide with 33 questions. Don't bring them all out at once on a first date, but if you pick one or two, there's some great conversation starters. And I have a playlist called Conversation Starters, although the guide, I think, encompasses those. So you can skip the episodes, go right to the free guide. Anyway, I want to keep you from starting a date by saying, so what do you do for work? Oh, how long have you done that? Oh, do you like it? Oh, is that what you went to school for? Oh, is your family nearby? Do you have brothers and sisters? How many? The only positive I can see in that conversation is that there were follow-up questions. And if you know me at all, huge fan of follow-up questions because that is where the gold is. But people are going to walk away from that date feeling like they just got a bunch of basic facts, never got to know anything about this person, and I can't have you out there doing that. You're going to have way better dates than that. So let's get to it. That's what's on the agenda. The job interview is a horrible strategy. A better strategy is to remember that you are here to learn about this person and to gauge whether you enjoy their company, their vibe, learn a little bit about their values to see if you would appreciate being with this person. So we need to get to some better information than what you're typically going to get to by asking a bunch of yes or no, or what we like to call resume questions. Before I get around to sharing with you a teaser of some of the 33 questions that are in my free guide, I wanted to remind you that you can use your surrounding. It's a great tool to take what is around you and use that in your conversation. It can lead to interesting conversations about the most random things, but things where you can learn about this person and their thoughts, opinions, and ideas, as opposed to, where they went to school or their favorite color. Not going to do you any good to know that it's blue, except for me, because I hate blue. Oh, I'm wearing blue. So using your surroundings, whether you're out and walking on a walk with a cup of coffee and you see somebody walking a dog, and say, oh, are you a dog person or a cat person? I really love dogs. You start telling them about how you've always wanted a dog, but you weren't allowed to have one with your parents, or that you used to have an allergy, but you overcame it. You could talk about what type or breed of a dog you would want, the pros and cons to a big dog versus a small dog. This can all be conversational with you sharing bits about yourself, but also inviting them to share their opinions and history with dogs as well. You're just sitting at a restaurant having lunch and somebody has a tray of French fries go by. And you can tell the story about how you're such a big potato lover. If you had to only eat one food for the rest of your life, it would certainly be French fries. And then you can ask who they think of the fast food giants makes the best French fries. What is their preferred way of eating potatoes? What do they put on a baked potato? You can talk about people who are near you and make a game of guessing whether they know each other and how they know each other. You could talk about the design of the place and wonder how long this place has been there, or who decided on that crazy elephant lamp in the corner. Using your surroundings is a great tool, but also, as I've hinted or alluded to in this, telling a story about how you never got a dog when you were a kid, despite promising that you would walk it every day and feed it. Sharing stories is really key in creating a great and flowing conversation. You may have heard me recommend before that you have a few of your go-to famous stories, the ones that you tell often to people you're just getting to know. You tell these stories because they speak to you for some reason. They're either funny in your estimation, or they are amusing to people you've told them to in the past, or you just enjoy telling the darn story. So I always like to keep a little note in my phone and brush up on that before meeting somebody new who I'm going to have to converse with, to refresh myself on my 3 favorite stories to share. One of them's about a vacation and being what I thought was kidnapped at the time by some people on a bus. But that's a story for another day. It's in my list. What's in your list? One of the things I really love about using some questions, the ones you've saved or planned for ahead of time, is to gamify it. Instead of just popping them out randomly, a really deep or well thought out question, you could ask this person, hey, do you want to play a game? Do you want to do a little Q&A and get to know each other a little better? You up for that? Likely they'll say yes. If they say no, you just say okay and then use one of the questions anyway, because they won't know that it was prepared ahead of time. But if they do say yes, you can either pull one out that you've memorized or grab your phone and look up one of my 33 questions that you've starred and felt like that was really something you might want to know about this person in particular. And one of those questions may just be, when is the last time you did something for the first time? This will tell you a little bit about this person. Do they try new things? What is this thing that they learned? Is it something really basic that you think they should have known long ago or tried long ago? Did they just learn how to swim or ride a bike? Did they just go bungee jumping or skydiving for the first time? That tells you that they're a daredevil, or that they maybe, if they never swam, they lived a specific kind of life, not around swimming pools and without forced to sit shivering on the side of a cold gymnasium pool. Do I sound bitter? And then, of course, be prepared to answer any of these questions yourself. So it's fun even just reading through the 33, answering for yourself, and then you know that you're prepared, or you could just answer off the cuff with whatever strikes you in the moment, and maybe even have a story that that question inspires in you to share. If you won $500 million, what would you do or buy first? They tell you that they want to buy their mother a house. It tells you something about the wonderful relationship they have with their parent. You can segue with follow-up questions about the rest of their family. It tells you a little bit about how they value money. If they say they're going to buy a Ferrari, you may think to yourself, I would love to have a Ferrari. That's what I've always wanted. This is my kind of person. Or you could think that sounds like a big waste of money when you could put a down payment or buy a house. Some of these questions are just fun and light, but many of them, most of them, are going to give you some deeper, better information on this person than asking where they went to college. And then the final one I'm going to share with you from my list of 33. Well, now you've only got 30 that are going to be surprising to you. But my third one for you here today is, if you could trade lives with one person for one day, with whom would you trade and what would you accomplish? I haven't even thought about my own answer to this one. I'll have to get back to you on that. As you can see, these 33 questions could be really helpful, especially in situations where the conversation has gone off track and it's really getting boring. Nobody's talking, or somebody's talking too much, or the topic chosen is really inappropriate for a first or second date. These questions, by the way, not just for a first and second date. These 33 of them, if you use them sparingly, will take you through an entire 3 to 6 months, depending on how you meter them out. And if you've been dating somebody for a while, still fun to get their feedback on some of these questions. So make sure you go down to the description box below. You just click on the link. It'll ask for your email, and I'll send it directly to your email so you'll have it there for a reference and won't lose it anywhere. All right, I hope you found that interesting or helpful. Hey, if you did, Mom says give the episode a thumbs up because she thinks that would be groovy. I agree. I would truly appreciate it if you would also subscribe before you leave today. Really helps me out with the algorithm and making sure more people are able to become better daters out there, which is what I want for everyone who's out there dating in 2024. And I will look forward to seeing you back here again soon. So until next time, thank you and have a good one.